All right. So let my Virgo moon kind of just sort that out for a moment. Right. There you go. There's Capricorn. Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles coming up there. And guys, this is all about value. October is about value for you. What you value, what you've been doing, what you've been investing in, time, energy, emotions, whatever it is. But it's almost like, a lot of people will settle. And, all right, so let's just go over here. I want to talk about the Eight of Cups for a moment because that's what the present is. A lot of people will just settle. I've invested this much time and energy into something. I've, blood, sweat, tears, whatever we've invested in it. Sometimes it's easy. You just think, well, I've already done this much. I might as well just stay with it. Not Capricorn. Not Capricorn. And I know there's a lot of time and energy that's gone into something. A lot. We have the Eight of Coins or the Eight of Pentacles coming up as a past energy, the foundation. And it's something that you were happy to do. I mean, look at this guy. He's poring over his books. The bloody candles have burnt down. He's been up all night. It's daylight outside. And he's still working away. So you were really focused on this. You really wanted to work on this, right? And that, whether that's if this is for a relationship, that is a lot of bloody work to put into a relationship. Not saying that relationships don't require work. They do, right? Getting to know people, learning each other's languages, learning each other's little bits and building this relationship together. But that's Three of Pentacles. The Eight is where it's a full-time job now. But the person does it because they love it. It's their long-term security and stability. Fine. Amazing. Good. Got it. But it's almost when you do this and then the Queen of Pentacles shows up with the Magician, it's almost like, yeah, I'm ready to build something new out of this, or I want something new. Now, whatever that work was that you put into this, and there's a lot, whatever this relates to for you, you've put so much into it. You've learned so much about yourself. You've got this skill set there now. The Magician's about confidence. Maybe you need to do that to build up your confidence or to understand something about you. But you're very much in your own element. And what does that mean? What does that mean? If you've ever woken up and you think, I don't feel like myself today, where you might want things that you never wanted before, or the things that you enjoyed, you don't really enjoy them. That's when we don't feel ourselves. This is you. This is, when you feel yourself, you're in your power. And you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you're willing to do, you know what you're not willing to do. You look around and you're able to discern, yeah, like that, don't like that, that needs to go. That's the Queen of Pentacles. That's how she's coming up here right now. And the thing with her is, if she values something, she'll make it work. And that's what was missing here, the value, what value these things had. And a lot of the times the work itself is the value that, I'll work on this, or putting in the hours at that job, or, working through stuff in that relationship. I'm really using those examples. Apply it to whatever you want. That is the value, but it's not that. That's given you value. Now, it's a kind of a two-way street here. You know your own value. Maybe some of you realize that, hey man, why have I got that price tag on me? I'm discounting myself for the wrong people. But I feel this boost in your confidence. That's where it's coming from. And I love it. I absolutely adore that. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of dedication. Maybe you've had to be jack of all trades to get to this place, but you're not now. You're a queen. Doesn't matter what gender you are. It's not about genders. It's that energy of, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And I know what I'm willing to. She's very much like the Empress in that. She understands that the best way to get the most out of a situation is to nurture it, is to grow, is to dedicate time and energy to it. That's how you get the best out of your employees or, your family. Like she gives her family home cooked meals, that she takes her time to do that. That's the best way to get the most out of it. But you learn that the hard way, by dedicating all this time and energy. So for some of you, it's been a bit of working on something, but you kind of don't want that anymore. That's not what you need anymore. But I love this Magician here. The Magician is all about, the confidence to use what he knows and the tools that he has to get what he wants. Now, I think it was Sagittarius. Sagittarius got the Magician here. Now, why that's key, why that's important is, you are the fourth reading that I am doing. Now, was it Sagittarius? Maybe Scorpio. I don't remember. You're the fourth reading that I'm doing. And Every single one of you has got an ace as the underlying energy. Now, you might be looking at this saying, well, Jay, I don't have an ace. Yes, you do. You have all the bloody aces here. That's what the magician has. Traditionally, he has the ace of cups, the ace of pentacles, the ace of swords, the ace of wands in front of him. Those are the tools of his trade. That's what he's using. And he can have any new beginning he wants. So you've got all the aces. The rest of them, I think they got one, they got an actual ace, ace of cups, ace of pentacles, whatever. You guys got the magician, which is all the aces. And what makes this such a lethal combination is now, it's not that you just have the knowledge or the tools. You have the ability, the will, the skill set to use this. The very grounded, real world knowledge of how it can come up. You know, a lot of people, this is a card of manifestation, right? That I'm trying to manifest this or I want to manifest that. But for too many people, that act of manifesting is a shortcut. It's a shortcut. I'm going to manifest this, so I don't actually have to go out there and do anything, that it will come to me easily. Not you. Not the person that I'm reading for here. Maybe just one person. I kind of feel like they're very... It's a specific energy level that we're reading at, and I know it's not going to relate to everyone, and that's perfectly fine. Those of you that are ready for this, there's no doubt now. That's that's what you was lacking, your confidence in yourself. Maybe to ask for what you deserve, maybe to make that shift or make that move or to commit to something deeper, but you've definitely done the legwork. So good job. Good job there. And everything revolves around the Four of Wands now. We say all that. And the Magician's number one, so the true beginning of the major arcana. Then we have the Four of Wands here now. The fours, nothing changes or moves when the fours come up. But as far as that goes, this is an amazing four to get. That I think the Four of Wands is probably my favorite of the fours. Four of Pentacles is probably my least favorite because nothing changes or shifts or moves with the Four of Pentacles. With this is by choice. We pause here. Pause to celebrate how far we've come. Pause to celebrate this amazing foundation that we now have. This can very literally, if we're looking at mundane meanings for the cards, and I don't usually go there, but you know, the mundane, excuse me, Capricorn, the mundane interpretations of the energies, the Four of Wands, it's a house move or a job move or a change in the environment around us. So, you know, construction work on the house, redecorating the home, a change in the creative group of people around us. But there is a change. We're ready for that. Why? Because we're kicking this up to the next level. I think the Four of Wands, my favorite depiction of it is in the After Tarot, which is like a moment after what we see in the original Rider-Waite. So you see these people celebrating here. But in the After Tarot, you see them getting in their chariot, it looks like, but they're wagon at the back and they're off. They're moving on. They're going to go work on this now. We had a nice celebration. Good job. But let's go build on this. That requires commitment. Commitment to more action, not less action. More action. That's the sticking point. And I'm being all like kind of excited and vibed up by your reading. It's amazing reading. But it's working smarter, not harder, Capricorn. I'm telling you that. It's working smarter, not harder. And think about this. We have the Queen of Pentacles there. She'll work hard. She does it for the people that she loves. She has no problem working on this. She sees value in it. She's going to work on it. But he's smart. He's smart. As above, so below. As within, so without. He gets that. It's using it. It's channeling what needs to be channeled into the right areas. This can be heightened communication. I understand we're moving towards a Mercury retrograde as well. So that's an interesting setup. But that's right at the end of the month. By middle of the month, we'll be in the pre-shadow phase. But it's very much working smarter, not harder. But it's that lethal combination of the two. I love it. I absolutely adore it. But the first things first. All of that's great, right? So we got 2 8s here. We got 2 7s here. All of that is amazing and great. And what it's revolving around is this need to move up a level, work harder, or get more, right? Commit to this more. We're going to build something on this now. Amazing foundation. What are you done with? You're done with something. And it's at a deep emotional level. We've got cups coming up here. It's the only cups that we have. Well, if you don't count the Ace of Cups and the Magician. It's the only, you know, to have that new emotional beginning. To have that new what inspires me, what my truth is, what potential do I see here, what do I want to build. All of that stuff that comes from the Magician. There's something that you're done with. And that's the key thing here. I don't usually see the Eight of Cups as someone actually physically leaving a situation. It doesn't have to be that. It's cups after all. I know we always see someone who's turned their back and walked off. But he's walking away from cups. Cups are our emotions, our feelings. And it's like, I've invested emotionally a lot into something. I put a lot of work into something, but I don't want to feel that way anymore. If I stay here with these cups, if I stay here in this situation with the way that it is, I would be settling. It's very empowered energy, the Eight of Cups, in its highest vibration. It's self-honoring. I deserve the ninth cup. I deserve my heart's desire, the Nine of Cups. That's what I deserve. So if I want that ninth cup, I can't stay here and settle for 8. I need the ninth cup. It's with faith that this person walks off. It's with faith that you turn your back on that, whatever it was. And it may have been emotionally fulfilling at one point. Maybe putting in those long hours was. But now you want to build something more. So it may be that, you gave your heart and soul to a company, but it's like, no, I want something more than that now. I don't really get it. I want to make something for myself, build something for myself. That's part of my long-term security and stability. Now, you may have heard me say this before, that there's 2 places that we check in. I believe in the cycle. That's just me. I haven't read it anywhere. I've just seen it myself in readings that I've been doing for over 20 years. One is the 4, where we pause and, look at the foundation. It's done. Where are we going to go? How do we build on this? The others are the 7s. And the 7s are where we stop and ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is it worth it? You got 2 7s coming up. But if this is around a job, and I know I'm getting very specific on this, but it's coming up that way. If this is around a job, it's almost like for all the hours that you put in, either you got the recognition and it doesn't mean anything to you, or you didn't even get it. You didn't even get the recognition that you deserve. You know what you're worth. That's the main thing here. You know what you're worth. That Queen of Pentacles makes a bloody statement and a half showing up in your reading right out the gate with the Magician. It's you're either not getting paid enough, or you weren't given the promotion that you wanted. Now, even in relationships, it's what I was saying to you, right? That the 8 of Coins, 8 of Pentacles is not a fabulous. It's a lot of work to put into a relationship. It may be an overlap. Maybe you have been putting in that work. It doesn't mean that maybe you're happy with your job with that. But that's the new beginning now, is like, well, okay, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. Where's my emotional fulfillment? What are my relationships like? Have I been neglecting my family? But it's not coming from a dark place. It's not coming from a place of lack. I know you don't want to settle, but you don't want to settle because you now know you're worth more than that. You know you're capable of more than that. That's the beauty of this reading. That's why I'm getting so excited, because sometimes, and especially recently, and I talk about it in the outro, there's been some very difficult energies around. Now, the thing is, all of that shit is happening in your house, Capricorn. It's happening in Capricorn. So I kind of feel like those of you that have been working with that energy, getting used to it, not resisting it, but going with it, you've actually started making it work for you. That's the beauty of this reading. The confidence. Yes, you've had to get your head down and work on this. But this comes from a place of pride in who you are, pride in what you've done. You can stand up and say, yeah, I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. I'm not settling for that. I'm not settling for it. I want my heart's desire. I want everything. Now, that's good. I like that. And please understand that, especially if those of you that are done, and it's a choice. That's the whole thing with those 2 are both present based cards. I always feel like this is past based energy, like we're coming in with this energy, right? This is what we want to achieve, or what we're dealing with, what we aspire to. Everything revolves around this, be it a goal, be it the main issue at the moment, whatever. But these 2 are both present based. So they're advice based energies, because it's our choices in the present that will dictate what or how, or, just like Google Maps, you picking that path is what's going to dictate what comes up on that path, right? So right now, the choice is around, are you going to settle? And, what are you capable of? Do you recognize how amazing you are? Because it is a card of recognition. It's a victory card, right? But he stands up and says, hey, look at me. Look at what I can do. No one puts him up there. Do you see what I mean? He does it himself. And that's almost for you guys to know, to understand your value. And understanding your value is what is up to the value of, you're able to see now the value around you. Now I keep talking about value. That's a key word in this reading. And it is about value in October. This can be relationships, but I've got a feeling it's more around the work that you do. The work that you do. But like I said, some people do. They make relationships their full-time jobs. Now, what you've got here coming up in the future is a 7 of coins, 7 of pentacles. Now, she looks pretty happy in this, which always kind of throws me a little bit in terms of the 7 of coins, 7 of pentacles. But she's working away in her garden. She's been working away in her garden. So have you, right? But right now, here, it's about, what do I get back? First, what you're dealing with before we get to the actual physical, because Pentacles, earth energy, your energy, it's around our physical reality. Things that we can see, feel and touch. How much we're paid, our homes, our physical bodies, whatever you want to relate it to, whatever you've been working on here. But it's long-term security for you. But the first place, do you see that? What comes up here is the 8 of Cups. So this is about what we're emotionally done with. It's our emotional needs that we are acknowledging, that we're standing at. That's what comes first. Are you honoring your emotional needs, or are you settling? That's the main gist of this. I think you realize it in the external world, but it's about knowing, then, okay, if I know my value, if I know the value of what's around me, am I settling by staying in this situation? And we figure that out by emotions, not by logically looking at it or checking bank balances or the rest of it. It's how you feel. Do you feel fulfilled there? Even if you get the recognition, even if you're like employee of the month or being bloody promoted to CEO of that company or whatever it is, right? Or the relationship's going well, they've offered to, let's move in together, let's do this. And is it emotionally satisfying? Is it worthy of you? And that's why we have her here. Because then we move on to the physical reality of it. Then we're asked, okay, well, if it's not emotionally satisfying, if you know what you're worth and you stand up for that, what are you getting back for all the time and effort that you're putting into this? Into whatever it is. Now, there's no clear-cut decision here. This is where we look at what's coming. It's in front of us. The whatever we've been working on, we start to see the beginnings of, like, the fruits of our labor. It starts to come in. You can see it. She looks pretty happy. And some of you might be. And it's like, okay, well, I'm patient. I'll hang in here. It's good. But really, with the 8 of Cups there, I feel like this is where we can now tweak it. We now look at it. This is where you might go in, ask for a pay rise. You might decide, I deserve to live in a bigger house. I need a better job. I don't want to just be your, Friday night date. Are we together? Are we a thing? Are you my girlfriend? Are you my boyfriend? Are we engaged? Are we getting married? Like, that's where now we up the ante. Now it's like, well, okay, I put in the work. This is what I want. This is what I deserve out of this. The returns, right, from what I'm doing. Now, interesting. We'll look at what the advice is here. The advice is the 7 of Wands. So another 7. 7s always ask us, is it worth it? Is it worth all the time and effort that I put into it based on what I get back? The physical security, stability. 7 of Wands is saying, is it worth the fight? Is it worth defending? Is it worth fighting for? And that's the advice here. But the thing is, this comes from your passion and energy that you put into it. Defending what you've created or what you've been working at. Defending your status. Don't forget, the 7 of Wands comes after the 6 of Wands. So think about this, right? We've got the 4 of Wands here, which is good job, great foundation, time to shift it up a gear. Like, we're going to move this up a stage. Then we have the 5 of Wands, which you don't see here. And the 5 of Wands is where we go all out. We're competing. We're working for it. We're getting back on that horse. We're out there dating, meeting people, socializing, or giving our all at work, whatever this relates to for you. And so for all of that hard work that you put in for 5, the challenges that you overcame, you can't make this shit up, guys. What's he doing? What did I say? He's going off to look for his 9th cup, the 8 of Cups. He doesn't want the 8. He wants the 9 of Cups, the 9th cup. That's what he wants. And there it is. It's there. And you'll see it in all the work that you've done and the garden that you're working on, whatever. But I want to know why is this advice coming in? There has been this tricky little thing for everyone. And I want to see what the tricky little thing is for you. Ace of Swords, bloody hell. Everyone's getting a little dangerous. I don't mean it literally, but this is it. This is, I think maybe you've had your head down. You've been working away at something, minding your own business, trying to build your life, trying to build your relationships, trying to take care of your home, your bank balance, whatever it is. And out of your own hard work now, Now you're the Queen of Pentacles. That's you, right? And you're ready to get dynamic with this, create something new out of it. You're confident to go for something. You got that change coming in. You know what you're not settling for. You know you don't want it. And you have pride in who you are. You know your value. You're going to go and get your 9th cup. And there's that 9th cup coming in. But the advice is this. And I kind of feel like it's... I want to say this to you. Capricorn, please don't forget to have a conversation with someone or maybe a group of people before you kind of do this. I feel with that Page of Swords, misunderstandings are rife. And I don't always get communication with the Magician, even though it's Mercury, but I did in your reading. There's something that must be communicated. I feel like you've had a change in perspective or a change in your philosophy. And there's a misunderstanding here. And that's what it is. Whether it's letting your boss know, whether it's letting your colleagues know, whether it's letting your family know, right? But we can do that when we've got our head down working away. I do it all the time, but you just forget to tell people stuff. But this is communication. The Ace of Swords is a new truth. You got 2 aces that come up. There's new beginnings coming out here. And maybe that's what you have to defend, that people don't get it. They misunderstand what you're doing. You know, Capricorn's just selfish, or Capricorn's just this, or Capricorn's just whatever it might be. There is a bigger picture here. You're playing the long game with this one. This is something that you've been invested in for a long time. But it's okay. You have the Sword of Truth. This is a new way of communicating. So I would just say that you know, you can get defensive. You can be like, you know, just go out swinging. I was saying that to Scorpio as well. I think Scorpio got 7 of Wands. Very much so you could do that.